Jason Rigby, ABQ Business Podcast. I want to ask you a question. What do you value in others? As a leader, you need to understand that question fully. Because you have people on your teams right now that don't value the same things that you value. You have people that you've hired that may be great at what they do, but their values are 180 degrees out from what you are. And you're looking at your leadership and looking at those that are around you and saying, why is our team not clicking? Why is this not happening right? Because values trumps experience, values trumps everything. And let me get into this. I got this from Admired Leadership Field Notes, and it's called What Do You Value in Others? This is a great article, and I want to go over it with you. It was just a small, not a huge article, but I think when you understand your values and what it is to be a leader, then you can begin to see and implement those values in your group, because that's your responsibility as a leader. It's to make sure that you communicate effectively and clearly those values. In the article it talks about, it says there's a subtle difference between what a leader values and what they value in others. When leaders emphasize what qualities are important in others, team members take notice. You have to understand you're under a microscope constantly, and that's not a bad thing. They're just watching how you react and learning from you, and then they know it's human nature. They want to navigate. You're the leader. You're paying for their attention and time. They want to know the rules. They want to play the game at work, and so they're looking to you to understand that. What are you valuing? Are you valuing get the job done no matter what? And so we'll skip steps and lie and cheat, and then the outcome is great, and that's all the value. That's the only value. Is this like Wolf of Wall Street type of things? Whatever leaders value in others, team members produce more of it and value it as well. So what are you producing? If you do not like the product that you are producing, it is because you haven't clearly defined your values to your team. They say most leaders, for example, naturally prize people who produce outcomes and results. More conversation, attention, and focus on results will, over time, produce a team that thinks deeply about outcomes and pushes that priority downward throughout the organization. So if it's just sales, I don't care how we get there. I don't care what you tell the client. I'm handling tons of heat. And that's the thing. I talk to sales managers all the time, and they're like, I'm handling tons of heat from customers, and customers are dissatisfied with this or this or this. What do you have up on your board? What are you valuing? Sales. How often are you looking at sales? Daily? Are you bringing? Is that the only thing that you're looking at? What key performance indicators, KPIs, are you looking at? Is it the way that they communicate? What are you rewarding? This is the same with parenting. And this was a huge thing that I had to understand and learn as a parent. Always reward character and the values that okay, I'm not talking about like trophies for everyone, because if somebody was lazy, they don't deserve a trophy, 100%. What I am valuing is, even though this outcome cost you this, you were honest throughout the whole process. So I'm going to reward you on your honesty. We didn't get the sale now, but this, and this happened. And so I think we have potential to look at it this way. Or maybe I need to get involved and have a meeting with this person, but I appreciate that you set this up and this up and this up. And that you did all the follow-up, you did everything perfectly. See, that's the thing too, especially, and I just don't want to get caught up in sales here, but not every deal is going to wind up in a sale, right? But are you seeing consistent follow-up from your salespeople? Because that's the number one thing. You can have people that are doing great follow-up, they just don't know how to close a sale. And do you know that? Are you just valuing the close of the sale? Are you valuing the processes that they're doing, the systems that they're working day in and day out? Because that's just training on that end. That's just being able to maybe have enough balls, have enough courage to be able to ask for the sale. That's all that is. It's not, that's easily trainable, right? Some people have that natural ability to close. Some people don't. Some people can be people that are like introverts, great follow-ups. They're sending out their emails. They're making the phone calls. They're doing everything. but they just have that problem with closing it. So maybe they need to get you involved on that process. Whatever it may be, what are you valuing? They said when leaders value a particular quality in others, they attend to it. The quality or its correlate comes up frequently in interaction. Leaders inquire about it, even if indirectly. They invest the time, listen to this, they invest the time it takes to focus on and reward for it. You may not even realize you're doing this. Subconsciously, you may be creating something that you don't want to because you're valuing something that maybe you were taught old school way a long time ago. So you're like, well, this is how I lead. This is how I was taught to lead. So I'm going to value this. It's a slippery slope, guys. What leaders value in others creates much of the climate on a team. And I want you to understand culture and climate. A result focus comes with the territory. The other quality leaders emphasize have a critical impact on how the team infects with each other and with the leaders. Leaders who value the free flow of ideas, thoughts, and opinions creates an open dialogue where every viewpoint is held in high esteem. So you have the leaders that is whatever it takes. I'm result focused. Let's get it done. You have other leaders that are just valuing free flow of ideas. So each of these has good and bad to them. You can have somebody that everybody is like, knows each other, hangs out with each other, fully open, they're free-flowing ideas. Maybe you value these get-together meetings, but no one does anything. No one executes. There's no results. It's just how everybody feels at the moment, and are they sharing? You see how that can go either way? Leaders who value candidness in others lets everyone know that they want honest and unfiltered views, no matter how uncomfortable they may be to raise. Team members become more frank when they know a leader values candidness above other qualities. This can also be an issue too, because what if you have real shy introverts and they're great on the team, but then you're valuing everybody speaking their mind, but some people have a harder time with that. And maybe it needs to be set up in a scenario, not where it's at a team meeting and you're calling somebody out. And then the extroverts are praising you on this, and you don't want a team with a ton of extroverts. You're just going to have a lot of arguing and people calling each other out, and then it turns into backstabbing. You see how that works? Some leaders value experience. Others, personal character. There's no right emphasis. Get that. There's no right emphasis, but the consequences are real. The list of quality leaders might value in others are expansive. Charitable acts, action, kindness, precision, feelings, decisiveness, empathy, hard work, loyalty, initiative, to just name a few. Like for me, hard work is really important. I work a lot. So as a leader, I have to be careful in that. I don't expect everybody to work as hard as I do. I don't think it's wise, and it's not healthy. I have the opportunity to be able to do that because I'm passionate about what I do. I enjoy what I do. The different types of jobs that I do have are my hobbies too, like this, for instance, podcasting. So I can't look at somebody and judge everybody off hard work. Because what will I have? I will have people that are not balanced, people that feel like they're always feeling guilty, that they need to constantly work to prove themselves to me. And working really hard doesn't mean you working 7 days a week. You could work really hard for 2 or 3 hours in a day and have accomplished more than somebody just sitting at a desk all day long for 8 or 9 hours and then saying, hey, I worked, 9 hours on a Saturday. So, each of these you have to look at and see where you're at. And this will help you tremendously in your leadership. Let me explain this because I think this is really important. When you realize that there's no right emphasis, but there's values that are real to you, and this is what makes you a leader, and this isn't being selfish, guys. This is how you lead. So let's say you lead by feelings, and feelings are really important, and you want other people to share their feelings. And you want honesty in that sharing of feelings. Well, that shows you're going to have to really double down on coaching because you need to create a safe space for them to be able to share the feelings. That's your response. If that's what you value, create the space for that value because that's going to shape your culture and your climate. They said this, what you value in others leaks out and reinforces what people share and do. The best leaders do this purposely. They know they can't value everything, so they make a few choices based upon what they need from others. What do you want? What's the outcome? Get specific on this. So say, I want more sales, or, we need more revenue, or whatever it may be. Get specific on that. Well, how? And this requires work on your end. This is just self-awareness. Again, we always talk about this every podcast. asking yourself, ask these questions to yourself. What do I value? What's like a perfect employee for me? And I know you can't have a perfect, but I'm just like, what if you could create one? What would it look like? What would a perfect team look like? Well, it's the things that they're doing, not them as a person. Of course, we're all going to make mistakes. Maybe you value people making mistakes and being honest with those mistakes. And you like people that make mistakes because then it means that they're working hard and they're trying things that are creative and out of the box. For me, I enjoy that because I'm in marketing. So if you're not making enough mistakes, you're playing it too safe as far as I'm concerned. And gold is always, in marketing, gold is always when we're out of the box. So I want super creative people that are thinking out of the box. So that means they're going to come up with some shitty things. They're not going to make, they're going to make shitty marketing material. They're going to try something new and it's not going to look good. And each of these results and outcomes is something that you can ground your leadership and you can ground your team in. And you can filter your vision and everything that you do. So you're going to have a team meeting? Okay, what's the team meeting going to look like? Well, I have this issue, this issue, this issue. Okay, well, one issue is I have a ton of people showing up late all the time. Do you value being on time? Is that important to you? Or is that an underlying issue because things aren't getting done, so you're blaming it on them? Maybe if they did their work, you wouldn't be opposed to when they come in. And maybe you could figure out their schedules, and maybe they could even, if you trusted them enough, see, get this, if you trusted them enough, you wouldn't mind them working at home. Because if you had somebody that was, for me, I don't really care. As long as the work gets done. As long as there's people, I value execution. That's one of my values. So as long as we're executing quickly, and we're being creative, that's all I care about. And you may say that's right, that's wrong, whatever, but that's what I value as a leader. So what does that look like? So you execute and be creative on your own time. When are you maybe it's late at night for you. We have employees that start at 11 o'clock in the afternoon. We have employees that work in the middle of the night. I don't care. If I wake up in the morning and 2 or 3 projects have gotten done, I'm going to send them a Slack message. Great job. Appreciate this. Let's fix this. Let's do this or this. Or, hey, can we schedule a meeting later? If it's a later person and I know that, I'll be like, hey, let's schedule a meeting at 11, 12 or whatever. If it's some people like to hurry up, get up in the morning, drink coffee and do their work and work for a few hours, take a break and then come back later. Some people have to work around school schedules and all that. I'm all in on all that. Super flexible. As long as you're executing, I don't care. So, that's me, and I'm just sharing that, and that's what I value. And so I'm going to make my decisions, my meetings, and the choices. I'm going to make sure the choices are that I'm not bringing tons of different values whenever I'm mad or I feel like it or emotional. Like, I'm not going to get into, I need you to hear my feelings because I listened to some podcast or I went to some conference and I think that's the next best thing. And then I'm on that for a month or two and then it fades away. And then everybody's confused. Like, your team should know, if you interviewed them, you should be like, what do you think I value? What do you think I value the most in our organization, in our team, and with you and what you do? That's a great coaching questions, guys. Throw that out there. Create some dialogue. See what they say. And if you're getting a bunch of different people that think you value a bunch of different things, then you know that you need to be more clear on what you value. And it's as simple as this, having a team meeting and say, hey guys, I ask each of you questions about what I value as a leader, and we come up with some different answers. So I want to share with you, like real personally, like say that I want to share with you personally what I value the most. And then share it with the team. Guess what? They're going to listen. They're going to respond. If you have good people, and I always say this, it's usually not a person, it's usually the system. We had that today. I had an issue. It was the system that was messing it up. They were being reactive because the system wasn't right. It wasn't inserted in the right times on the sales cycle to allow marketing to come in under sales enablement to be able to get the materials right. So guess what we were having? Because there wasn't a system for that and a checklist for that. Last minute, we need this, we need that, we got to have this, we need this, we got to, it was all this reactive stuff. And then the team is reacting and everybody's just getting reactive and angry and working in weird hours and on the weekends and all kinds of stuff. So it was simple. What do I value? Execution, getting it done. But I also want to have everyone working in a system. So no one's fault. We need to tweak the system. So B2B, 108 days, sales cycle, marketing needs to inject themselves real early in that and then move their way through. And they're going with the process. They're having more marketing huddles. They're communicating more. They're finding out what the audience is, if we're running ads, and so forth. You see how that works? That's all the problem was. Now, my value is that we're executing. Now we're executing properly. Now people aren't getting pissed off, and we're being proactive, not reactive. And they said this, good leaders stake out the ground of value for everyone to see and feel. And then they I want to ask you this again, and these are the two questions in the article in this. What do you value in others, and how do you show it? What do you value in others, and how do you show it?
Thank you for joining us on the Albuquerque Business Podcast. And thanks to our sponsor, RigbyDigital.com. Make sure to subscribe and share. And go to abqpodcast.com. Get show notes, resources, and links to everything we talked about today to help you navigate your journey as an entrepreneur and business owner.